And the story we done seen repeated over and over again with music groups from all throughout time. One person always outshines the other. It's always one person people tend to like more, and it always does one thing: cause problems. And these problems kind of sent Rae Sremmurd into obscurity. But with them, it went a lot deeper than just someone being liked more. See, these two went through a lot together.
This was a time we was new to fame, we was new to everything, but at the end of the day, we're brothers, like, and we've been together for so long. It was just a time when we both wanted, we wanted to do different things. Like me, like I said, I wanted to use that time that I used for personal development, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. And Sway wanted to continue doing music, that's what he did. And honestly, I always felt like it was time for him to get his little, see, he made good songs every day. Like, I'm in the studio, like.
See, the thing with these two brothers, they had been making music for a real long time before they actually got some traction. Before they was really getting some money, they was making music for a minute. Back 2010, 2011, they was really starting out and they was making this music, trying to figure out what was gonna work. Like I said, even though it took some years and years of them grinding, it did happen. 2013, after all these years of them just trying to build up their whole music career, getting all these connections, they finally made the right move. They made a move that was finna change everything. They met a man who happened to know Mike Will made it, and this little connection was gonna bring him a bag. They got tapped in with Mike and Rae Sremmurd started. That was the start of Rae Sremmurd. And yeah, they might have been making music for real, but it didn't pick up until this time. And when it picked up, it was crazy. These two ran music for years. There was a point in time where it don't matter what time of day you got in the car, don't matter what day of the week it was, you was always gonna hear a Rae Sremmurd song. You was gonna hear one of their songs play at least one time during that car ride. I don't know what they was doing to the music. I don't know if it had crack in it or what, but I promise you, they was doing real good. They had no flex on, swing, look alive. I can't even name all the big songs they had, but just know it was successful. They was on a successful run. But with all these successful songs, there was a problem. It was always something that stood out more than everything else. Sway Lee parts of these songs. Think about most of these songs and think about the parts that you actually remember. It's more than likely Sway Lee part. And I'm not hating, I'm just speaking the truth. I'm speaking facts and I'm speaking how people was feeling. And during that crazy run, it was really like every song would outdo their last. And probably the peak of their career was when the whole Black Beatles song dropped and the Mannequin Challenge started. This was a challenge that was so viral, there would be entire schools taking a part in this challenge. But you know, whenever something go viral, it's always people not like. And you really gotta remember this time period. You gotta remember this era in music. Nigga, this was 2016 when it was the world versus mumble rap. And someone a part of that word happened to be Ebro, the infamous mumble rap hater. And Ebro was definitely hating on Rae Sremmurd. Two dudes at the height of their career making all this money, and what he did was make fun of him. During the LOL challenge, when I realized that Mannequin Challenge is why you got the rank, referring to how high the song was charted. And remember, Rae Sremmurd tapped in with Mike Will made it. And when he seen it, he responded with a threat. Yo, hey, old man Ebro, chill out before I make that call to Jimmy Levine, to be exact, and get you fired, lil' homie. And this started a war between Rae Sremmurd and Ebro.
Obviously, elephant in the room, or the elephant not in the room. Ebro's not here. He's still at Caravana at OVO Fest. Obviously, a lot got made of that conversation that we had with, who was the Complex? Yeah. Complex did their list, and Ebro complained about how high Srem Life was on. It turned into a much bigger thing that I can't remember if I thought at the time. I'm so used to hearing Ebro talk shit, I kind of checked. Well, hey, the album's really, really good. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna get into a whole argument about, but the album's really, really good. How much of a thing did it become? Did people just start hitting you up all the time? Like, what's up with this? Taking shots at you guys? How did it play out for you guys?
Like, everybody, like, want to fight Ebro.
All your people hate Ebro.
All our people.
What were your guys' thoughts on what he said? I mean, because I know he likes your music.
I know. Yeah, I'm just like.
Oh, that was the thing he also said. Though. He said
that's all we cared about.
So that was the only thing that bugged you. Don't care if he doesn't like it.
Yeah, you got the dummies out there. You got the dummies out there that just believe whatever they hear on the internet. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, Rae Sremmurd doesn't write their lyrics.
Yeah, don't troll.
You know what I'm saying? They just believe everything.
Kind of fact.
Just to be clear, and by the way, when Ebro comes back, I want to have y'all come back, and we'll do this again after Srem Life 2 comes out next Friday. So we'll do it again, but I want to clear this up right now while he's not here. Because sometimes it's hard to get a word in edgewise if you write your own lyrics. Mike Will does not write your lyrics. Mike Will produces. You don't have a team of writers. You are not, as Ebro alluded to, you are not crisscross with Jermaine Dupri and other people writing.
We write our own.
We write our own.
Family.
What's up? What's up?
Now, I think first things first, before we talk the generic issues, there's things on your mind, baby. What's the deal with Ebro?
We ain't worried about it. We ain't worried about it. Man, he's just, you know what I'm saying? People wanna express their opinions, you know what I'm saying? It's his opinion. He good for it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
express your opinion. We gonna keep banging out, you know what I'm saying? We just, it's a new era of music, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's a new era of music. Music
Exactly.
is evolving. People just gotta get their heads wrapped around it.
Exactly, and sometimes old dudes can have that problem, fam.
Tim, hey, I just want to ask you, man.
About that. Check the credits. We ain't even gotta address that because you can look on the album and see who write the track.
Who's
Don't put no
catching the
fake
track?
facts out there.
We don't care. We don't care
Don't put fake facts out there.
We don't care if Ebro dumb life. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Now we just gonna move on.
Exactly. And sometimes that old man swag catches you out, fam.
Man, what? It's love. It's all love. It's all love.
Right there. A lot of friggin' hits, family.
Appreciate that,
Like
man.
in your face, hit after hit.
Appreciate
Bang
that.
in your face, fam.
And like you seen, they was doing these interviews talking about Ebro, and it was only a matter of time before Ebro himself responded to all of that talk they was talking.
As we get heated, I'm like, how do you put Ray Sremmurd at number 3 albums? Mike Will made it. They barely even write their stuff. They get offended. They don't write, they get offended. So they go on Tim Westwood over in the UK and they put up a 20-minute freestyle.
By the way, I want to sit and watch the entire thing.
I watched 6 minutes. I gave him 6 minutes of my life last night.
6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're off.
Too real.
I gave
Too
2,
real.
so there's that.
But here's an excerpt from Ray Sremmurd's.
But past this, they was still dropping their music, doing their thing until one day, everything changed. And when I say this really changed the course of the whole Ray Sremmurd, nothing would be the same after this. Sway Lee dropped a song that would change the entire dynamic of the group. The way everybody looked at these two was crazy after this. He came out and dropped the song Unforgettable with French Montana. Smash hit off rip. Whole world listening to this song. Everybody you know loving this song. But remember what I said. This wasn't a Ray Sremmurd song. This was Sway Lee, one half of the group. One half of this duo dropped the smash hit without the other person. It seemed like it was a recipe for disaster. When I say this song was huge, it really was. A lot of people, when they think about 2017, they think about Unforgettable. The song was that big. And around this time, after Sway Lee was just getting all this success without Slim Jimmy, people got to speculating. People was wondering, are they gonna break up? Like, what's going on? And even before Unforgettable came out, it was plenty of people in comment sections on their interviews and posts saying that they think the two might break up soon. 8 years ago, oh shit, Sway Lee disagreed with Slim Jimmy on how difficult it is to work on an album. I see a breakup real soon. Another one, 7 years ago, I can see Ray Sremmurd breaking up because Slim Jimmy takes over every interview. You can tell Sway Lee ain't too fond of that. Sway Lee carries the weight of Ray Sremmurd. And I guarantee you that if you go back and look at any of their old interviews from this time, you're gonna see people in the comments saying that exact thing. From 7, 8 years ago, people were saying that they thought it was gonna break up. And as we see, that kind of did happen. Them people was right. After Unforgettable, they both started to make their own projects.
Yeah, I'm working. Solo project coming soon. Swaycation coming soon. Can't wait to drop my solo project. Cause y'all don't know what to expect from me. But you know, it gotta be greatness because Sway is my brother. And that was so hard. What's up, Ted? So y'all know I got that Sway. I don't just playing. I'm about to go and drop on the tune. Drop a tune for your head top. Ain't that what they be saying? No, me and Sway not breaking up, but we're gonna drop solo projects. And why I don't do that many hooks? Cause man, my brother do the best hooks in the world, but like, I don't mean it. I'm incapable. So for Shrimp Life 3, yeah, I'm gonna drop my own waves. Me and Sway gonna drop waves together. The whole project gonna be banging, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to the fans who been sticking around. We only dropped 2 projects. We're 5 in, and we 5 deep. It's over with.
And the rumors that they was gonna break up was so big, they was out here doing interviews talking about it. The latest feather in Sway Lee's bandana is a feature on French Montana's Unforgettable. The song peaked at number 3 on Hot 100 with 19 weeks on the chart. Yet another indication that Ray Sremmurd's star is steadily rising. Somewhere in the midst of Snapchat stories and solo projects sits a rumor that the group may part ways, with 2016 Shrimp Life 2 as their final project. Both Sway and Jimmy dispelled that rumor as a myth, though both already in solo work. Sway Lee Staycation on the calendar, as well as Slim Jimmy Project Jam. The breakups of solo efforts conversation is far from new. The same rumor came out when Black Beatles and the Mannequin Challenge was even going. For now, the goal is to bring Shrimp Life 3 to the masses, delivering on their promise of keeping their music authentic and true to themselves. The two sat down exclusively with Billboard to talk about their past year and what's to come from hip-hop's most underrated yet most imitated duo on the scene. And Billboard asked the two how they felt about the splitting up rumors. Ray Sremmurd said, "We young, we creative, we living our lives. Sometimes people may be too tuned in and they misconstrue things." So yeah, that was just a myth. We got many more projects on the way. Many more songs, many more features, everything. It's just the beginning. But even past this and past all the breakup rumors, they ended up getting into a real strange situation. And before I tell you about that, make sure you go tap in with me on Twitch at GetLikePrincee. I'm finna start streaming soon. And you already this far in the video, you might as well come through to a stream at least once. But one day out of nowhere, these two got sued. These two got hit with a lawsuit. They was getting sued for negligence assault and battery by a fan. And you probably thinking, damn, did they jump a nigga after a show? No, one of them allegedly threw a water bottle off stage and hit a nigga in the face. He claimed that the water bottle hit him so forcefully that it ripped off a chunk of his face, which reportedly sent him straight to the hospital. He claims he suffered permanent damage, scarring, disfigurement, and that both Sway Lee and Slim Jimmy did not offer no warning of throwing objects in the crowd beforehand. He wanted the duo to cover his medical bills along with the undisclosed amount for damages. But be for real. How much force could a nigga really put behind a water bottle to rip a chunk off your face? But that man wasn't lying about being hurt. His nose was stitched up crazy. And there's pictures of it that you can go look up online, but I can't show them here. But there was no proof that Ray Sremmurd had anything to do with that.
How's the situation, bro? I gotta ask you.
What situation?
You saw this, right?
Oh man, I'm about to counter sue.
Really?
Yeah, I'm about to counter sue.
Why? What happened?
Cause he lying. Ain't finna cause me stress. I'm finna counter sue.
That's what's up. No, I mean, how can he prove that? You know, that's
because
what happened.
I do like 3,000 shows, but I never threw a bottle off stage, and Jimmy never threw a bottle off stage. So these are false accusations. So I'm about to counter sue.
Hey, there it is,
I appreciate that check, man. I appreciate that check. I hope you get your nose fixed.
And like you heard Sway said, that lawsuit happened, and the man who allegedly claimed he got hit wanted 25 racks for the damages. Jeffrey 25 accuses Ray Sremmurd of negligence that left his face disfigured with 6 stitches on. Lawsuit seeks out $25,000 to cover medical bills and damages. And for years, the case went on until 2019. The lawsuit finally ended, and by the end of that case, that man wanted over $500,000 from them two. He claimed that they did this to his nose, but the judge was not on his side. Judge felt like Sway wasn't guilty. A jury in Oakland County Court found Lee innocent Thursday, citing a lack of credibility on behalf of the plaintiff after he admitted to lying under oath. So he did all of this just to admit at the end of the day that he was lying. And Sway attorney had this to say: "This victory today is a warning to anyone who tries to take advantage of people like Sway, who earn their fortune and incredible careers through their own motivation and work ethic." It is crazy to think about that this nigga was trying to come up off $500,000 off a lot. But back to when these two was going back and forth about if they was gonna go solo or not. Even though they was getting in a little bit of drama, they did drop their album. They finally dropped their long-awaited Shrimp Life 3 that was getting teased and spoke about for years. People was wanting this album for a minute, and finally, after all the teasing, after all the begging, the album finally came out. But this album was a mess. It was basically 3 albums in one. One where it was just Slim Jimmy, one where it was just Sway Lee, and one where it was both of them. One article wrote inside Ray Sremmurd's messy, incomplete, deliriously fun 3rd album, Shrimp Life 3. On streaming services, the 3 records are collapsed together under the Shrimp Life 3 banner. The Sway Lee solo disc is stuck in the middle, but was the most anticipated of all 3, even back when it was just a hypothetical. Sway striking out on his own has long been waiting, but the absence of Jimmy's fuller vocals presented a problem. It would be tempting to call Shrimp Life 3 overwrought and overlong, but even if that format was another play just to juice streaming stats, it ends up being an interesting document of the two brothers trying to push one another into new stylistic territory. Sway Lee got a massive career tucked behind emergency glass, and Jimmy at the very least should be able to carry the more narrative and thematic weight on Ray Sremmurd records going forward. And yeah, people did want a Ray Sremmurd album, but I don't think niggas wanted a 100-minute Ray Sremmurd album. Sometimes these artists do gotta sit and realize that attention span is something that's important. Attention span plays into everything. And most people ain't finna sit down and listen to your nearly 2-hour-long album unless you're somebody the world really cares about. And there's very few artists that can release a 2-hour album and get positive reception to it. And if I'm keeping it 100, Ray Sremmurd was not one of them artists. But even though I did say that, and even though I said the album was long as hell, the part of the album where it was just these two, them songs went crazy. 5 of the songs that them two worked on together went platinum, showing that these two might really need each other at the end of the day, even if everybody else didn't think like that. After this album, the breakup kind of started. Before the album, it was forming, but after the album is when it really happened. And what's crazy is, not too long ago, these two spoke about this time period and how the breakup almost happened.
And you know, people and fans and blogs, even me, feed into these narratives and you think something's happening. It felt like you guys were gonna separate.
Yeah, the breakup.
I thought it was like a real breakup, and I'm like, what's happening here? Now, again, we know how social media perceived it and what people may have said, but were there those moments of y'all saying, hey, do we want to still do this? Obviously, you guys have accomplished and done historical shit already, but it definitely takes that determination that you got to really be still locked in to keep going. Was there those moments?
With me, like, no matter what I do, like, I always think about Ray Sremmurd, you know what I'm saying? I want to be Ray Sremmurd, like, you know what I'm saying? But, of course, like, I'm branching out, you know what I'm saying? I got a certain sound. It's a big sound, you know what I'm saying? I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, be compatible with different artists, you know what I'm saying? I want to be as big as possible, like, you know what I'm saying? So, even when I'm branching off doing other things, it's like, I'm always coming home to Ray Sremmurd, you know what I'm saying? Like, Ray Sremmurd is my baby, my bass, like.
Pause.
No homo. No, dead serious.
Hey, yo,
nah, Ray Sremmurd my baby, like, Ray Sremmurd my baby forever, like, you know what I'm saying? So, even if, no matter what I do, if I make the biggest song over on the side, whatever it is, like, and bro, we rocking. We came out the hood together, you know what I'm saying? We came out Mississippi, made out of Mississippi projects together. So it's like, we always rocking, but I'm always just gonna be patient with that, because it ain't just me, you know what I'm saying? It's him too. So we gotta
and for me, I'm gonna
come
keep it
together.
real. I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000. I felt like before, you know, we were doing our thing and we was winning, but I felt like I wasn't carrying my weight as an artist, and I'm very what's it called? Critical of myself, you know what I'm saying? So back then, you know, I was tripping, I was doing whatever I was doing, I was saying stupid shit. On stage, I was tripping, like, I could see it, you know what I'm saying? People was saying whatever, but I could see it, and I felt like I needed to work on myself, so I went to do that. Because I look at my brother like, he is like a generational talent. He's fire, like, you know what I'm saying? He's an amazing artist, and I knew this even before we blew up. Like, my brother is amazingly talented, and always, no matter what type of situation I'm in, I always want to carry my weight. So that's what I took the time off to do, which was to work on myself. I don't think people take time to work on themselves enough, you know what I'm saying? But me, I did that in order to present myself as a better person for, like, this group, to carry myself in this group and to present myself better in this group. And if you come see our shows right now, which y'all gonna see us at Coachella real soon, our shows are incredible. They're better than they ever been. And it was definitely worth it. Like, it was fire. I love the journey that I went on, you know what I'm saying?
You mentioned working on yourself and being critical of yourself. Is it hard to, because with any group, right? Like, it's true, we can think about, and I'm pretty sure, well, obviously it's one of the best groups of all time, especially a duo, Mobb Deep, right? Prodigy, Havoc, right? There were different roles, right? Again, you know, you appreciated one for these things and you appreciated the other for these things.
Exactly.
How much was outside pressure? Because, or was it just clearly?
It wasn't even outside pressure. It was really internally on me.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Because I go back, like I said, I'm very critical of myself. And not even that, just my dad, R.I.P. Big Floyd. You know what I'm saying? We lost him in my dad was always real honest with me. So he'll tell me things and they'll stick with me. I'm not gonna tell you what he said, but he said something with me that stuck with me real tough. And it made me want to change the way I was moving, the habits, like my behavior, basically. You know what I'm saying?
And even though what happened with that album happened, there was still problems going around. See, Sway Lee was taking over, and he dropped one of the biggest songs of all time. And I really gotta put this into perspective for y'all. Sway Lee is truly a generational artist. In the entire history of recorded music, it's only been 138 songs that done went diamond. And guess who holds 2 of them songs? Sway Lee. Unforgettable went diamond, and Sunflower went diamond, the song he dropped after Sremmurd 3. See, him and Post Malone linked up and made a song that people will never forget.
That was just like, me and Post was just linking in the studio on a random day at our camps. Like, we always stay in touch with each other, you know what I'm saying? All Post people know a lot of my people, you know what I'm saying? And they've been locked in for a couple years. So it's like, boom, we were just hitting each other up, random day in LA. We doing what we doing. Hey, let's link, let's cook up today, boom. So I pull up to Electric Field, you know what I'm saying? They in there, we vibing, Posting there, drinking his beers, you know what I'm saying? We turned up. I'm drinking beers with him.
Drinking the beers?
I'm on the beers, the Bud Light. You know, I'm from Mississippi, so I got some Southern in me too. So that's like the third song we did, Sunflower. I walked in the booth, heard that beat. Damn, sound all happy and like, what the?
Are you knowing like yo, this fire?
I'm like, this could be. I'm like, this could be like some alternative type music. You know, this could be a different like pop song, cool pop song.
Pull me up, nigga.
Got you, man. So boom, go in the booth, man. Did a song in like 27 minutes, like bar for bar. Caught the flow, boom. Louis Bell recorded me, got me sounding icy.
Wait, that quick?
Man, quick. Like I had wrote it like while I was listening to it. Boom. So I walk in the booth. I just took me a couple times, just a couple takes saying it, like going through all the lyrics. And it was really some crazier lyrics. Like it was kind of like the first lyrics. She was a bad, nevertheless, but she was a bad, never. They PG-13'd it up. You know what I'm saying? Oh. But it was some crazy lyrics in there. Actually, like some like more like edgy lyrics. But
so this isn't a thing where he's like, yo, this for the movie.
Nah. Later, see, that just played out like the networks that people had. Like, so the movie approached Post Malone's camp. You know what I'm saying? They were looking for the song. One of Post people had played that song off the rip. They was like, this is it right here. Like, hey, motherfucker came on, boom, and they wanted the song, and then Post did his part. Legendary. Just like infectious for the kids. Like the kids really like took that one and ran with it.
And just some months after Sway Lee dropped another solo smash hit, Jimmy snapped. He came out saying that they broke up and claimed Ray Sremmurd was over with. I'm not Ray Sremmurd, I'm Slim Jimmy, and I'm a swink or swim by myself. I'm not Shrimp Life. Y'all won this a rap. Y'all got y'all man Sway. Y'all gonna be straight. If you know, you know. And if I'm being honest, the internet ain't give a fuck. People was like tired of Slim Jimmy. They was like, Sway Lee don't need you. That's really how people was feeling. And what's really crazy about these tweets, just a few days ago, I'm talking about like 5-6 days ago from when I'm recording this, Jimmy did an interview really describing these tweets and what his thought process was when he tweeted that.
Announced you're no longer part of Ray Sremmurd.
Yeah, but that was just an angry tweet because Ray Sremmurd's still around right now.
That's what I'm saying. So
you know, I used to, man, I was a part of the Poppin' Zans era. You know what I'm saying? I used to do deals. You know what I'm saying? So it might be tweaking. Might be me and my brother be arguing a lot. We used to argue a lot. So goddamn, we'll be fighting or whatever. I might have got mad. Goddamn, you get real sensitive. I don't know what about drugs just be making sensitive. And so like, I just tweeted, but people took like it was on wax. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't even like that. It was just I don't like anything that takes me out of the control of myself. You know what I'm saying? If I do some shit I normally do, I'm not gonna. I don't drink a lot, you know what I'm saying? Probably a little bit before,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm working in a factory, like it's on one of them types of things, popping the addy to stay up type, like that's how it starts.
So you didn't have money back then, but once you had money, now you could afford.
You know, sadly, my like RP to Big Floyd, my dad, you know, him passing and my little brother going to jail, like that was like one of the major points in my life that made me quit doing drugs altogether, you know what I'm saying?
And nearly a year to the date of them tweets, something horrible came out. On January 8th, 2020, something horrible happened. News reports came out randomly saying that Ray Sremmurd's brother was arrested for killing they pops, and they brother didn't get spared. Judge hit him with first-degree M. And you probably wondering, what could have happened that made him want to kill dad? What would make somebody want to do something like that? Well, his mama said it was mental illness. The DA wouldn't get into details of the alleged killing, other than to say Michael's biological father, Sway Lee's brother, Floyd Sullivan Jr. was shot at least once on January 6, 2020, which is when the word of his death first surfaced and Michael was detained as a person of interest. As we told you, Michael's mother told us she believed that he might have been off his medication before the alleged shooting. As she explained, he had been having episodes with her before going to live with his dad. She also revealed that Michael is affected with schizophrenia disorder. That includes mood swings, delusion, and it's unclear how this factored into what was presented to the grand jury, but we were told that he was held for psychiatric evaluation before he was eventually arrested and taken to jail. And who knows how Ray Sremmurd was feeling during this time period. We don't know if this passing brought them closer together, but 5 years after their last project, 5 years after the last Ray Sremmurd project, in 2023, they decided to make a comeback. After everything they done and after everything they did and what was said, they dropped Shrimp Life 4, and it was not love. People felt like Shrimp Life 4 was just mid.
Takeoff and Quavo had a more entertaining combination, and they had already been making music for years at that point, off the back of an album that they had just dropped the year before. Like, bruh, what is this? There's two of you. There's less room for error. Like, I genuinely don't understand why it sounds like this. I have 5 years and this is what you came up with? I don't get that. I truly don't understand that. Like, like, as a duo, did they make the tracks? Like, were they not in the studio with one another the entire time for recording this album? I'm not listening no more of this. No. I don't even want to get into that mode. Like what are we doing here? Like, what's really good with this?
But all of this comes back to one question. Why did hip-hop forget Ray Sremmurd? How was a man with multiple diamond singles able to just flop like this and be forgotten? See, as the years went on, people thought less and less of the group in general. And it got to a point where Ray Sremmurd was just a thought more than something people cared about. And it was a big problem. Remember what I said? Before this Srem Life 4, Ray Sremmurd didn't drop an album since 2018. And when I say Ray Sremmurd, I mean both of these niggas individually. Neither one of these artists dropped their own album. If you take a look at their Apple Music, the last project they dropped before this was Srem Life 3 in 2018. And this is why people really forgot about Jimmy. I mean, yeah, you might have been a part of Ray Sremmurd and you might have been with Sway Lee at one point, but what did you expect to happen if you dropped no music? Singles can only do you so good for so long. See, with Sway Lee, there was a reason he wasn't forgotten, because he was on one of the craziest feature runs of all time. He had a part on Sycamore, he had Sunflower, had Unforgettable, had Sativa with Gene Aiko. He had so many different big songs, even without an album, that it was carrying him. But Jimmy didn't have none of that. Jimmy didn't have nothing to carry him with no album. He didn't have no big hits like Sway had big hits. And so when time did come around for them to drop their first album in 5 years, and it not being amazing, was a big problem. And if I'm keeping 100, I don't know if these two could come back from this as a group under the Ray Sremmurd brand. Like, I know Sway Lee could go and drop another hit with the right artist, but they could only carry him for so long until fans will want his own body of work. I think these two are just a case of artists who are lost. These are two very talented people. Even if the majority of people do look past Jimmy, he still made some good music over the years. He was still a part of these hits for a reason, but something ain't just clicked with that last album. I do hope they can come back and drop something crazy, but to me it seemed like Sway is just a feature and single artist, more of an album artist, which is why he hasn't dropped one. But what do y'all think? And sadly, to this day, Jimmy still been facing some real life problems. Him and his baby mama been getting into it heavy. 2 years ago, right, Jimmy got arrested for DV. Law enforcement told the outlet that Jimmy's girlfriend, who goes by Keek, said that the 30-year-old rhymer left her home following their argument and returned smelling of alcohol. The girlfriend claimed that she tried to move their son from his playpen to the bed, and that's when Jimmy reportedly grabbed her hair with such force that her hair extension ripped from her scalp. The report goes on to claim that the girlfriend tried to record the incident on her phone, which angered Jimmy, who proceeded to chase her around the house. The girlfriend later locked herself in a room where Jimmy allegedly kicked the door down and snatched the phone from her. He ultimately tossed the phone out the balcony to inhibit her from posting the supposed video on social media. But the phone was later recovered by the police when they arrived at the scene, and somehow that damn phone wasn't damaged. This nigga threw a phone off the balcony and there wasn't no damage to it. But the situation didn't end how you think it would. It ended with her defending this man. She was saying that the police was lying on his name and that all of this was just blown out of proportion. After the charges came out, she got on IG and said this: "Dade County, y'all wrong for this. I told you guys he ain't hit me. Every officer you guys had in my face are wrong for this. Nobody put their hands on nobody, and I stated it more than once. It was just a loud argument and the police was called. You guys turned nothing into something. It's our son's first birthday tomorrow. What is wrong with y'all?" But the problem still didn't stop with these two. 2 years after the last situation, it happened again. Just a few months ago in February 2024, she got arrested for DV this time. TMZ broke the news about the new DV disturbance, which led to the arrest of Slim Jimmy's girlfriend. According to records obtained by XXL, she was arrested on January 22nd and was officially charged with battery. She paid her $1,000 bond and was released. TMZ reports police were called to the rapper's home in Florida for domestic incidents. Slim told officers the fight began after a spat on social media. He said he told her to leave. She started throwing stuff in the yard. Then, rapper alleges that she punched him in the face 3 times. But she told the police a different story, saying that Jimmy tried to grab her phone while she was recording the argument and that they struggled over the phone and she scratched her face in the process. However, due to Slim's injuries, she was placed under arrest. According to TMZ, the latest incident happened a couple days after they had a fight at her apartment that was caught on camera. And from my own opinion, this ain't no good situation. This gon' end terribly. This just a situation where these two need to get away from each other. I understand that they might have a kid together, but that ain't worth all of these problems. That ain't worth going to jail. Then them real life problems that he facing right now probably stopping him from dropping music. Who knows how this is affecting his brain and affecting his want to really make music? Who really knows if Ray Sremmurd can make a comeback, and who knows if Jimmy would step away from this horrible situation he in? Only time will tell.